Eight of Wands is really all about being busy. In numerology, it is still an eight. An eight is driven by karma, meaning however you behaved or hopefully you treated people kindly before this, and you will reap the rewards, the just rewards, whether they're positive or negative based on how you behave before the situation. But with this being almost rooted in a very busy energy, it can be truly that where people are just traveling. First you're traveling here and then you're traveling there and all that kind of stuff. Or it can just be busy, around town, just away from your home, being busy. I mean, it could be running errands, doing whatever you got to do with the kids and all that kind of stuff. And what I teach in my tarot reading course, which there's a link in the description if anyone wants to check it out, is that there's a duality to every card. And so the duality, you can think of it as a positive and a negative energy. It's not exact. I don't like to think it that way, but that's a very helpful construct if you're just starting to learn to read tarot. And the positive aspect of this card, it can be, yes, you are busy because you are putting the pieces together for your destiny, your karma, whatever the case may be, your plan and action, right? Because obviously it does take a lot of action to get your plan going. However, it can also be the negative side, which is you're just busy, almost distracted busy. You're doing lots of things, lots of activities, but it's not making any progress towards any one of your goals specifically. And it's also why I think I like the view of it in the Light Seers Tarot over here, which is you get that kind of positive aspect of all these different activities or paths or wands coming together at a central point where it can be helping you accomplish your goal, whatever the case may be. Or I've seen many times if this is attached to like a relationship reading, it can be either you are too distracted to really know how you feel about the situation to get your thoughts together. It may say, hey, you're just too busy or too distracted, too many things going on to figure this out. I've also seen in the context of a relationship where there's just too many cooks in the kitchen, where you have so many opinions from so many different people about your relationship or your partner that you really have trouble sorting out which ones are yours and which ones are the others. In this case, the advice is usually you really need to take some time and focus and make sure that you have your thoughts and your kind of clarity sorted out so you actually know where you feel and where your emotions are. Because as I talk about in the course, the blue in the background does say some of this, even though it's a Wands card, which is your fire sign energy, there is an emotional context to this card because there's water in the background, you've got a river, and even a house in the background is how you want things to be. And if you're not spending your time in your activity, your busyness, kind of growing the house, growing how you want things to be, then you are just it's really wasteful energy. You're spinning your wheels without necessarily accomplishing your goals. I've also seen this attached to swords cards as far as thinking in the same way. It's like you may not have clarity of thought. You've got too many thoughts in your head, or you haven't really focused on the problem. You haven't really sat down and figured out what your thoughts are. So the busyness can be a positive thing, which is, yes, you're busy, you're knocking things out on your to-do list, and you're making total progress. However, it can also be on the negative side, which is just you're spinning your wheels, or you have too many thoughts or too many things going on that you aren't spending the time to really actively spend the quality time to think things through. Because I've also seen in relationship readings where it just means, if there's long-term, I do some readings for where there's some kind of long-term relationship issues that you really haven't dealt with. This card could be a distraction card because it says you're ignoring all those. You're keeping yourself busy, distracted, doing other things versus really looking at the root cause or spending time figuring out how to fix it because you're really just ignoring it, right? You're using this as a means of distraction to ignore the problem or get to the root of the problem because it's easier to just be busier and almost avoiding. To be busy and avoiding the situation rather than trying to make any progress on it and try to really improve the situation from where you want it to be.